What?
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. Your firm give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City! River City next!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the biggins and the noggins and the firkins. Cash for the hogshead. Cash and Jamie John. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the flypapers.
What do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk?
You can talk, you can talk, you can bigger, you can talk, you can bigger, you can talk, you can talk, you can talk, bigger, bigger. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No it ain't, but you gotta know the territory. Why's the Model T Ford make the trouble, make the people wanna go, wanna get up and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Taking kids to the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day departmentalized grocery store.
What do you talk? 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 Where do you get it? What do you talk? What do you talk? What do you talk? Where do you get it?
You can talk, you can bigger, you can talk, you can bigger, you can talk, bigger, bigger. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the you need a biscuit in a trunk. You need to put the crackers in a package. You need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary cracker barrel. Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail pounded up, plugged on by the stove. Came to the approach of a traveling salesman, made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory. Gone.
Gone with the pop stand, cap stand, dead and gone. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk can. Gone with the dog and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
Hill.
No!
Just a minute.
Never heard of it. Salesman, Hill. Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory.
What's the fellow's line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his line.
Whether the cracker barrel be obsolete or you need a biscuit in an airtight sanitary package with a Model T Ford.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line. Or a doggone thing. It's just a baby bellowing, big tall, great show, naked, nothing, room, every time a full-size salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us what's his line? He's a fake and he doesn't know the territory.
Look, what do you talk? He's a music man.
He's a what?
He's a music man. He sells clarinets to the kids in town with big trombones and the rat-a-tat drums and the big drums, the big rattle. And the piccolo, uniform too, with a shiny gold braid on the coat, and a big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there too, sir.
No, the fellow sells bands, boys' bands. I don't know how he does it, but he lives like a king. And he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines. And when the man dances serves and little boys what else? Piper pays him. Yes, sir. When the man dances, serves and little boys what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory!
River City! We cross the state line to Iowa. River City. Population 2,212. Cigarettes illegal in this state. What?
Alright, now if you all are through, I'll be the one to tell you about the great Professor Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
I never met him in my life, but I can tell you this much. He's given every single one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to come through immediately gets tarred and feathered and sent out to the county limits on a rail. Oh, you think it's funny? Just wait till it happens to you. Your hair doesn't even grow back.
But why should he get brought out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell the expensive instruments and the instruction books and the expensive uniforms, he has to guarantee to teach them kids how to play.
Well,
And to form the kids into a band with himself as the leader.
What's wrong with that?
He doesn't know one note from another! That's what's wrong with that! He doesn't know the difference between a bass drum and a pipe swindle a 2-bit thimble rigger one day, and when I do, oh, I'll squeal on it so loud.
Oh, you're mad, Charlie. Sure like to be around when you catch up with that fella.
Well, not on this trip. No, not here in Iowa. No, not the great Professor Harold who would even sell to these neckbowed Hawkeyes out here.
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
Don't believe I cut your name.
Hospital, and nobody came to see me. Not Cousin Will, not Aunt Bertha.
Your Aunt Bertha is dead.
She wouldn't have come anyways.
We can be cold as a falling thermometers in December if you ask about our weather in July. And we're so blind on stubborn weak as death, touching houses for a week at a time and never see eye to eye. But we'll give you our shirts and a bag to go with it. If your crop should happen to die.
What the? You're welcome. Glad to have you with us. Even though we may not ever mention it.
You really ought to give Iowa, Hawkeye, Iowa, Duluth, Des Moines, Davenport, Marshalltown, Mason, Hugh, Enns, Clear Lake. On to give Iowa a try.
Mr. Squires?
Yes.
Yes, I'm interested in a rig for Sunday, if you could accommodate me.
Well, I expect you ought to see the man in charge of hiring rigs. He's late as usual. Sorry.
Hey, Gregory! Marcellus? You will shh. But Greg, Professor Hill's the name. Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me he was coming to town?
I didn't know I was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You were a pretty big slicker when you were in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you work. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl, Ethel Toffelmeyer, boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I knew you'd come to no good.
So, what's the pitch? You're not back in the band business. Last I heard, he was in steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one.
No.
Now, give me the lowdown here, Mars.
Well, you'll never get anywhere with these stubborn Iowans, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher in town who will expose you before you get your grip unpacked.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's the librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's just what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, point her out to me.
I will. So, how are you going to start the pitch?
Same old way. Keep that music teacher off balance. And then my next step will be to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
But River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I'll have to create some. I have to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember. Now what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor just got a new pool table.
They never had a pool table before?
No, only billiards.
That'll do. See you later, Mars, and don't forget, music teacher.
Music teacher.
Mr. Dunlop?
Yep.
Now, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you do not wish to acknowledge, or you're not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here I say trouble right here in River City. Why sure, I'm a billiard player, certainly mighty proud to say, I'm always mighty proud to say. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are golden. Help you cultivate horse sense, and a cool head, and a keen eye. Did you ever take and try to give an ironclad leap to yourself from a 3-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, it takes judgment, brains, and maturity to score in a ball-line game. I say that any who can take and shove a ball in a pocket, and I call that slough. The first big step on the road to the depths of degradation. Say first it's a little on a medicinal mind with a teaspoon, then beer from a bottle. And the next thing you know, your son is playing for money in a pinchback suit, and listening to some big out-of-town Jasper hear him tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome drum race, no, but a race where they set down right on the horse. Like to see some stuck-up jockey boy setting on Dan Patch, make your blood boil, well I should say. Now friends, let me tell you what I mean. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pockets in a table. Pockets that mark the difference between a gentleman and a bum, with a capital B and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. And all week long your River City youth will be frittering away. I say your young men will be frittering away their noontime, supper time, short time too. Get the ball in the pocket, never mind getting dandelions pulled or the screen door passed or the beefsteak pound. Never mind pumping any water till your parents are caught with a cistern empty on a Saturday night, and that's trouble. Oh yes, you got lots and lots of trouble. I'm thinking of the kids in the knickerbocker, sure to tell you young ones, speaking in the pool hall, wind after school, you got trouble. Folks, right here in River City, trouble with a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. Now I know all you folks are the right kind of parents. I'm gonna be perfectly frank. Would you like to know what kind of conversation goes on while we're loafing around that hall? We'll be trying out Bevo, trying out Cubits, trying out tailor-mades like cigarette beans, and bragging all about how they're gonna cover up a telltale breath with sense. And one fine night, they leave the pool hall, heading for the dance at the Armory, libertine men, and scarlet women, and ragtime. Shameless music that'll drag your son, your daughter, arms of a jungle, animal instincts, mass hysteria. Friends, the idle brain is the devil's playground. Trouble! Right here in River City. With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Gotta figure out a way to keep the young ones moral after school.
Our children's gonna have trouble.
Mothers of River City, heed that warning before it's too late. Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The moment your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he starting to memorize jokes out of Captain Billy's whiz bang? Are certain words creeping into his conversation? Words like swell, aha, and so's your old man. Well, if so, my friends, you got trouble. Right here in River City. With a capital T and that rhymes with P and that stands for pool. We've surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule.
Our children's gonna have
Trouble. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game with the 15-number balls is the devil's tool. We surely got trouble.
Oh yes, we got trouble here. We got big trouble.
With a T.
With a capital T.
Got a rhyme with P.
That rhymes with P.
That stands for pool.
That stands for pool.
ready, daughter?
Yes, Mama. Keep on, Amaryllis. I'll be there in a minute. Hello, Mama. Fine, dear. Now your exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't remember the library being open last 4th of July.
It was, Mama, all evening. Mama, a man with a suitcase has been following me all over town.
Oh? Who?
Well, I never saw him before.
Did he say anything?
He tried.
Did you say anything?
Now, Mama, of course not. Now, don't dawdle, Amaryllis.
So dull,
Rate me a little slower, and please keep the fingers curved as nice and high as you possibly can. Don't get faster, dear.
If you don't mind my saying so, it wouldn't have hurt you to find out what the gentleman wanted.
I know what the gentleman wanted.
What, dear?
You'll find it in Balzac.
Excuse me for living, but I've never read it.
Neither has anyone else in this town.
There you go again with that same old comment about the low mentality of River City people and taking it all too much to heart.
Now, Mama, as long as the Madison Public Library was entrusted to me for the purpose of improving River City's cultural levels, I can't help my concern that the ladies of River City keep ignoring all my counsel and advice.
But darling, when a woman's got a husband and you've got none, why should she take advice from you? Even if you can't quote Balzac and Shakespeare and all the other highfalutin things.
Now, Mama, if you don't mind my saying so, you have a bad habit of changing every subject.
No, I haven't changed the subject. I was talking about that stranger.
What stranger?
With the suitcase who may be your very last chance.
Now, Mama, do you think that I'd allow a common passion? Now, really, Mama, I have my standards where men are concerned, and I have no intention.
I know all about your standards, and if you don't mind my saying so, there's not a man alive who could hope to measure up to the plentiful balance and pattern. No Webster, you can guard it for yourself, and your Irish imagination, you're stubborn and your life are full of books.
Well, if that isn't the best I've ever heard.
Thank you. Can I have a drink, please?
May I have a...
May I have a drink, please?
You may.
Oh, Winthrop, it's after dark. Is that a way to walk into the house?
Hello.
That won't do it all. I'll have a hug from my boy. And that lady over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Winthrop.
Winthrop, where are your manners?
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you'd come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amaryllis asked you to her party. Are you going or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amaryllis because of his list. He's a shame.
We know all about his lisp, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I bet he won't say it. No, thank you, Amaryllis. Amaryllis! He's crying. Why does he get so mad at people just because he lives?
It's not just because he lisps, Amaryllis. That's only part of it.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Not even to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do him. Every night I say goodnight to him because he stops. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Sleep tight.
Oh, darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there'll be someone else.
Never own me like you. I'm sorry, Miss Marian. Can I play my crossing, please?
May I play mine?
May I play my crossing, please?
You may.
See, without a sweetheart, you have no one to say goodnight to on the evening star.
I know, Amaryllis. For the time being, just say goodnight, my someone. You can fill in the name when the right someone comes along.
All right, it's better than nothing.
Yes, it is. Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I may play my crossing.
Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. True love can be whispered from heart to heart. When lovers are parted, they say. But I must depend on a wish and a star, as long as my heart doesn't know who you are. Sweet dreams be yours, sweet dreams they be. Sweet dreams to carry you close to me. I wish they may, and I wish they might. Now good night, my someone, good night. Good night. Good night.
My banners make tear run me tremble, when borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. When borne by the red, white, and blue. Thy banners make tear run me tremble, when borne by the red, white, and
I'm sure we're all grateful for my wife, Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, and to J.C. Squires for his stereopticon slides, and to Ethel Toffelmeyer, our fine player piano playing piano. As mayor of River City, I welcome you, River citizens, to the 4th of July flag exercises. Move to Madison Gymnasium, account the weather. Fourscore. Fourscore and set. The members of the school board shall now perform a patriotic tableau. The members of the school board will not be performing a patriotic tableau. Some disputes about costumes, I presume. Instead, the Watan Yi girls from the local wigwam of Hiawatha will now perform a spectacle, My Wife, in which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, will take a lead role.
I will now count to 20 in the Indian tongue. Een, teen, tutor, feather, fit. I shot George! Who shot me?
Who set off that cracker?
I know who did it. Tommy Jesus did it. Tommy Jesus did it.
Yes, Tommy Jesus!
Tommy Jesus! I would have run if I was you.
Mrs. Shin shall recover. No thanks to some young ruffian who is a disgrace to our community. 70. The Pains Fireworks Spectacle. Last days of Pompeii will be held if the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be off to Madison Picnic Park, past the meadow, down the creek, near the pest house.
How can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair? Sure did, Eeyore. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, JC.
Yeah, that's longer, baby.
Now just a minute. Order!
Looks like number 8's running late again.
What? I make her early. Nah, she's late, all right.
She's right on time. What's the matter with your watch?
Yeah, why don't you take a look like that? You're rolling my way. Hold the right time.
Stop tinkering in public!
Well, I said.
Never mind! 40.
I heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Now just a minute.
Is it a pool table or isn't it?
Will you allow me to get on with the
We
exercises?
don't want any more exercises. Did we get this pool table matter settled?
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Smite that devil and keep our young boys pure. Friends, may I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with this trouble, friends, with a wave of my hat, this very hand. Please observe me, if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Purr. Oh, think, my friends, how can any pool table ever hope to compete with a gold trombone? Ra, 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 da, da, ra, ra. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to those famous fabled walls of Jericho. Oh, till your parlor walls come a-tumbling down. Oh, a band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I mean a boys' band. Do you hear me? I say River City's gotta have her boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand, and River City's gonna have her boys' band. As sure as the Lord made little green apples, and that band's gonna be in uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred, and you'll hear the glitter of crashing cymbals, and the thunder of rolling drums, and the shimmer of trumpets, tan-ta-da, and you'll feel something like the electric thrill I once felt when Gilmore, Liberati, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa all came to town on that very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper-bottom, timpani, and horse platoon, thundering, thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having his big facts to say. There were 50 mounted cannon in the battery, thundering, thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters who improvisable, octave higher than the score.
since Frank Couch and Striking-R Lewis lay flat on a mat for 3.5 hours straight without moving a muscle. Never mind. I want this man's credentials. Grab that hoodlum. He almost blew his shin.
Thank you, Professor. Gotta make an example out of him. A ringleader, you know. What he does, the gang does.
Jilly Claude, let me go.
You wild kid, ya. Tagging down Main Street with my oldest girl.
I wasn't even tagging.
Don't you,
We was just walking together. Jilly Claude.
You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing. My little Gracie's seen ya. Now I'll tell you this once. You stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me till who laid the rails. Hill, I'll talk to you about this band business, 9 o'clock sharp at City Hall. Men, I want this man's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
You don't know this kid. He's tough, and he's got his gang waiting outside.
I'll be careful. Tommy, I'd like to talk to you about the band.
Aw, gee, Professor, that's for the little kids.
It's not about you playing in the band. You're mechanically minded, aren't you? Ever do anything with perpetual motion?
Nearly had it a couple times.
You did? You're my man. Do you realize no one has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? There's no place to hold the music.
Jilly Clyde, where I could get some wires from?
Look in your cellar, Tommy. That's where people keep wire. Constable, watch this. I'll show you how to break up a game. Young lady, miss, what's your name?
Zanita, I didn't have any idea he was beckoning me. Ye gods!
Zanita, do you know Tommy Jewish?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
well, only exception I'm not going home. I have to go to the library. Ye gods!
Then escort the young lady home by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir. Do I have to?
You have to.
Ye gods!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fellow. You made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh?
Mayor Shin happens to own the billiard parlor and that new pool table.
Oh. Well, what was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl.
Just a minute, Professor Hill. We need to see your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic certificates.
Nothing of the kind. No, we need letters and papers.
Make him put up a bond!
What am I hearing? Say. Ice cream.
Well, ice cream, but I don't sing, young man.
Talk then. Down here.
Ice cream.
Talk slow.
Ice cream.
You see? Singing is only sustained talking. Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Now you, sir.
Ice cream.
And now you, sir.
Ice cream.
Ladies, from now on, you will never see one of these men without the other three.
Why, Professor, you're wrong. These men have hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be
Any sin insincere? Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me, dear. Puzzle and mystify. Mystify, tell me, what
phone or anything.
No.
Well, I've got some wonderful caramels over at the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they give a degree for annoying women on the street like a Saturday night rowdy at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Very conservatory. Gold medal class about 5.
Even should that happen to be true, does that give you the right to follow me around wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in there, which may very well give me some very interesting information about you.
Great. No, Marcellus, don't call me great. So, how'd you make out with the music teacher? Scrumptious. Ate out of my hand the minute I tipped my hat.
She did? Boy, did you cut a swath tonight. For a second, even I thought she knew something about leading a band. It's like when you used to imitate that band concert fellow back in Joplin.
Kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. Just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? It only used to take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
It still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniforms.
Oh, no good. You haven't added uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books. But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor, not for any force. But you don't know one note from another.
I've got a revolutionary new method called the think system, where you don't bother with notes.
But in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear the music. You'll have to lead a band.
But in 4 weeks, when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else. At least long enough for me to collect and lead. This is a refined operation, son, and I've got it timed right down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. And now, Mr. Washington, if you'll excuse me.
Huh, are you gonna go line yourself up some canoodling?
Well.
Hey, I could set you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl, teaches Sunday school.
No wide-eyed, eager, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs, no... Listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she will file refers to marching down the aisle. No golden, glorious, gleaming, pristine goddess. No, sir, for no Diana do I play fond. I can tell you that right now. I snarl, I hiss. How can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz. For a lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, I rave. For the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder but wiser girl for me. No bright-eyed, blushing, breathless baby, no baby. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I prefer to take a chance on a more adult romance. No, do young miss who keeps resisting all the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent female. No, sir, why she's the fisherman, I'm the fish you see. Plop. I flinch, I shock, when the lass with the delicate air goes by, I smile, I grin, for the lady who knows what time it is, I cheer, I rave, and Hesston to win just one parade. The sadder but wiser girl's the girl for me, the sadder but wiser girl for me.
A cog on the queen. Everybody's so excited about bands. I'm at the top of my piano girl. And this is Mrs. Squires, and Mrs. Hicks. And of course you've met Eulalie McCartney. I'm Mayor's wife. Isn't it wonderful, Eulalie?
Oh, I couldn't say. No, I couldn't say. Oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand, but you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the... Mrs. Shin, do that again, the way you raised your foot just now.
Oh, well, I have a bunion there that bothers me.
Oh, what natural flow of rhythm. What expression of line and movement, what grace. You must accept the chairmanship for the ladies' auxiliary of the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies?
You say we have to.
Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks they'll start. Will you? Oh, will you? Oh, say yes, Mrs. Shin.
Eulalie McKechnie Shin. Ah, well, that is dancing.
Then you accept?
Yes, and may I just...
Thank you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Peru, I believe. After all, she is the librarian.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 talk a lot, pick a little, pick a little, shouldn't tell you this, but she advocates dirty books.
Dirty books?
Chaucer. Rabelais. Balzac. I shouldn't tell you this. I'll tell. No, the man look at my suit. Let me tell. Stop.
I'll tell. She made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in town till she came here. Old Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Gymnasium. Madison Picnic Park. Madison Hospital. That Miser Madison?
Exactly. Who do you think he was anyway?
Oh, I should say. Show off. Gave the town the library too, didn't he?
She was seen coming and going from his place.
Oh yes. That woman made brazen overtures with a gilded guarantee. She had a golden glint in her eye and a silver counterfeit ring. Smelt her down and will reveal a lump of lead as cold as steel here, where a woman's heart should be. He left River City in the library building, but he left all the books to her. Chaucer. Balzac.
Just a minute here. We need your credentials.
Yes. Just what you want over at my hotel. Just a minute. Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies.
Good night, ladies. Good night, ladies. We're going to leave you now. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. Farewell, ladies. We're going to leave you now.
It's alright. I know everything, and it doesn't make any difference.
What are you talking about?
You were probably very young. Anyone can make a mistake.
What?
No apologies, no explanations, please. I'll only be in town a short while, and the sadder but wiser girl for me.
Will you please make your selection and leave?
I have.
Well, what do you want to take out?
The librarian.
Quiet, please.
The librarian. You're not listening, Mary. Look. Marian. Marbles. 6 Steelies, 8 Aggies, a dozen Peewees, and 1 big lassie with an American flag in the middle. I think I'll drop it.
No!
Shh. Madam Librarian. What can I do, my dear, to catch your ear? I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, heaven help us, if the library caught on fire, and the volunteer hose brigade men to whisper the news to Marian. Madam Librarian. What can I say, my dear, to make it clear? I need you badly, badly, Madam Librarian. Marian, if I stumbled and I busted my whatchamacallit, I could lie on your floor unnoticed till my body had turned to carrion. Madam Librarian. Now in the moonlight, a man could sing it. In the moonlight. And a fellow would know that his darling had heard every word of his song with the moonlight. Help me along. But when I try and here to tell you, dear, I I love you madly, madly, Madam Librarian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win. For the civilized world accepts as unforgivable sin any talking out loud with any librarian, such as Marian. Madam Librarian. We've had a pretty good afternoon. 11 sales out of 12 tries. Tell you what, it's about noontime. Why don't you run along and have some dinner? I'll try a couple by myself.
Goodbye, Professor.
Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Why, no, Mr. Mayor. I collect doorbells. This particular specimen has...
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a license. And why haven't you been down to City Hall?
Mr. Mayor, I must have just... Oh, Mr. Mayor. Your hand, oh no.
What about it?
That spread of the little finger. It's hereditary.
What does that mean?
It means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. It means that America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
Where can I get one?
Right here, Mr. Mayor. Sign there. There'll be $17 import fee.
Just to think I could... Wait a minute. I haven't got any, son. You be down to City Hall with your bygone papers at 3 o'clock sharp.
You mean this afternoon?
Couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Peru, do you realize that you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
Well, if your son has that same firm chin and those splendid cheekbones, by George, not that he could ever be really great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? In the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendes, O'Klein.
Professor, we're Irish.
No. Well, that clinches it then. Signed here, Mrs. Prue. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine, fine. That'll be $7 earnest money. Nothing more payable, nothing more due until the first installment. Payable at the opening of band practice. Fine, fine. Thank you. And of course, I'll need the boy's measurements for his uniform.
Uniform?
Hello, son. Of course, his uniform, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine, at no cost whatsoever. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitements of today.
Would it have a...
A stripe? Certainly, my boy. A wide red one on each side. What do you think of that?
You'll have to excuse Winthrop, Professor. Most days we can't get him to say more than 3 words, even to us. And if you can get him to play in the band, you'll have St. Michael's own way with you. But if anyone can do it, I'll bet you can. Admiral cried, I'll pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, maverick pinching, terrazol minstrel singing Irishman, be gobby jabbers. Where are you from, me boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it! Gary... Where did you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
Was she now?
Yes. Gold medal class of '05. How do you do, Miss Peru?
How to do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru! I thought the name sounded familiar. You see, I've tried to see you since...
He wants to put Winthrop in the band!
You're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He has my jaw, you know.
Your husband? Musical? Well, I would very much
So
like
you
to...
bursting on everyone's home like this? Prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Marion!
Well, that's 1 for and 1 against now. Why not let the boy's father
The
decide?
boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Oh. I am sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have
My
something
brother is a 10-year-old problem child who can't understand why his father was taken away. Would you care to explain it to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go into business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks. Well, Miss Blue, I hardly think that musical tricks would be... I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious, perhaps. But I admire that woman. Just keep me alive and I'll be back later in the week.
Oh, one moment, Professor, about the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 8.
Fine, that's all I'll need. I must get back to my hotel room.
Professor, please excuse Marion. She's not really...
Oh no, Mrs. Peru. Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that deep down she's just as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Miss Peru.
Is he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future? Gary, Indiana Conservation Class ought 5. Now, darling.
Oh, Mama. Surely a girl's future doesn't depend on encouraging every fast-talking, self-centered, woman-chasing traveling man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known fact that if you keep the flint in one drawer and the steel in another, you'll never strike much of a fire.
Mama! Winthrop, I know you're there. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubb to give you the book I set aside. It's the Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to talk to anyone. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear. Now what are you up to, needing books for at this hour of the night? I have a feeling that the Indiana Journal may help me poke some very large holes in the professor's claims.
All right, I give up. At your age, if you don't mind my asking, what kind of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Greener, who backs me into the ancient history shelf every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage in that buggy of his with the removable back seat. But I'm not waiting for a man in shining white armor either. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a fear nice things. My white knight, what my heart would say if it only knew. Please take your freedoms, show me now. All I want is a brave man, all I want is a modest man, a quiet man, a gentle man, a straightforward and honest man to sing of me in a cottage somewhere in the state of Iowa, and I'd like him to be more interested in me than he is in himself, and more interested in us than in me. And if occasionally he pondered what makes Shakespeare and Beethoven great, him I could love till I died. Him I could love till I died. My white knight, not a Lancelot, nor an angel with wings, just someone to love me, who is not ashamed of a few nice things. My white knight, let me walk with him where the others ride by, walk and love him till I die, till I
Zanita, hey, Zanita! Tommy, come on over, sit right there in the bank! Good! Alright, then meet me after supper.
I can't. It's Edward League night. Meet you where?
The footbridge.
You see, isn't that just what I said? Last time, the lumberyard, and now the footbridge. And where will you meet me after that? In the black hole of Calcutta? Ye gods!
I only want to show you my invention.
What invention?
My music holder for my marching piccolo player. It still has a couple of minor flaws. See, when you keep it tight enough to hold your music steady, you cut off your circulation, and you can't wiggle your fingers. Meanwhile, you could go blind.
You lady!
Tommy, it's Papa!
Is that the first thing I said or not?
Yes, George.
Yes! The very first thing I said, or only hay with the horses. Get that man's credentials, I said. Day of July born, 19 and 12. And now look, my wife is off dancing any and all hours instead of at the home.
But George...
The school board is singing up street and down alley instead of tending to city matters. My oldest daughter is off boodling around with some wild kid. And meanwhile, my business has fallen so far off, I can't even find the balance sheet.
Mayor Shin, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
His who?
His university.
I know all about that. In fact, that's all I can get from him. Gary Conservatory, class of Art 5.
Yes, but if you'll just take some time to read a little about the conservatory, I
The Wells Fargo wagon's coming!
The Wells Fargo wagon? At this time of day? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon?
It could be the band instruments!
The band instruments?
On the Wells Fargo
sugar on my birthday.
And once I got some grapefruit from Tampa. Montgomery Ward sent me a bathtub and a cross-cut song.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down to see a Priebe surprise with COD.
It could be curtains,
Or it could be.
Yes, it could be. Yes, you're right. It surely could be.
Something special.
Something very, very special now.
Just for me.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. Don't let it pass my door. Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a coming down the street. I wish I knew what he was coming for.
I got a thing from the last September.
The DAR has sent a cannon for the courthouse square.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is coming now. I don't know how I can ever wait to the. It could be something for someone who is darling and what it could be. Something special. Just for me.
Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, keep on coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, keep on coming. Oh, you Wells Fargo wagon, don't you dare to make a stop until you stop for me.
Here you are, Winthrop.
My brunette, gee, thanks, Professor.
Gentlemen, you will each receive instruction in due course. In the meantime, get acquainted with your instruments, stay off the streets, and start thinking of the minuet in G. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da.
La-di-da, la-di-da.
Sister, isn't this the most scurviest solid gold thing you ever saw? I never thought you'd see anything so scurvy as the scurviest solid gold thing. Oh, sister.
That's round one for you, Mr. Hill.
But I better hear some bygone tooting out of those horns in pretty short order, or you'll be down to City Hall in the county seat.
Oh, George, you have disputes.
You watch your phraseology. Get along if you have to, but I have business to attend to. Now, Miss Marion, about that book. Thank you.
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights in the gymnasium.
Lovely ladies, lovely. Now turn. Take the body with you. Lovely. Now, let's have a go at our Grecian urns. 1 Grecian urn, 2 Grecian urns, and a fountain. Trickle, trickle, trickle. Splendid ladies. I predict that our dessert display will be the highlight of the ice cream sociable. All right, all right, gentlemen. Now, ladies, remember, and don't make me remind you again, always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Dunlop.
Me. It's you in the sunrise, it's you in my cup, it's you all the way into town. It's your sweet hello, dear, that sets me up, and it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through.
Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
You want to keep these kids back? You go ahead.
Start her up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till you see the new stuff Professor Hill taught us.
All right, what'll it be?
The shapoopy!
Now, a woman who'll kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a woman who'll kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy.
That girl is hard to get.
Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. Walk her once, just raise the curtain, and you walk around twice, and you make for certain. Once more, as a pad rubber, she'll never get sore if you beg her pardon. Don't re mi fa sol la si do, si la sol fa mi re. Squeeze her once for cheers, looking big as squeeze back that's man's cooking. Once more, as a pad rubber, she'll never get sore on her way to supper. Don't re mi fa sol la si do, si do. Now little old Sal was a go gal, as anyone can see. Look at her now, she's a go gal who only goes for me. Squeeze her once for cheers, looking to get a squeeze back that's hands cooking. Once more as a pad rubber, she'll never get sore on her way to supper. Do re mi fa sol la si do, si do. Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy.
The girl who's hard to get.
Shapoopy, shapoopy, shapoopy. But you can win her yet.
aiding and abetting the activities of this spellbinding symbol salesman. You know what I see written all over your face? Reform school. Now get out! Get out, you wild kid!
Papa, please! It's counterfeits like you that make blood in the marketplace! You
You
can't!
watch your phraseology. Go home. Ukulele!
Yes, George, I only...
You tend to your dance.
Oh, my dance.
I'll handle Sunita. Taking that boy is the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And thanks for nothing, by the way. I read that book you gave me. Didn't find a thing.
Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash as soon as I get these premises off my oldest daughter.
All right. But in the meantime, I want you to know, I'm vouching for Tommy Gillis. That boy has the confidence of every kid in town. You'll be waiting in line to shake his hand by the time our band finishes its first concert.
By the time your band has its first concert, the members will have to foregather in wheelchairs on account of the broken legs they received from tripping over their own beards. I'll tell you something, my fine young feathered... My feathered... Yeah. Never mind! Oliver, Tracy, Ewart, Olin! I want this man's credentials, and I want them now. Don't let him out of your sight. He's sleepier than a Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean you want us to get his credentials?
Get his credentials or get him in jail. I couldn't make myself any clearer if I was a button hook in well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shings behaved abominably, and it was wonderful of you to come to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't avoid the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. What does the poet say? The brave man dies 1,000 deaths, the coward only 500. Unfortunately, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of his billiard parlor. Of course, we could use a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself, but I couldn't figure
Why,
out.
Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd love to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
His cornet. Ah, yes, the mother of pearl keys.
Yes, I'm sure it's fine, but you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so, he made a few experimental blats, I guess you'd say?
Yes, blats.
He sings the minuet in G-dee-da almost constantly.
La-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee-da. La-dee-da, la-dee-da.
But he never touches the cornet.
Well, you see.
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
Well...
He tells me about some think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, then he won't have to bother with the notes. Now, Professor...
Yes, Mary. The think system is a revolutionary method, I'll admit. But so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord, whom... Now, I cannot discuss these matters here in public, but if you'll allow me to call... When may I call?
Why, any night this week.
Pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 a lot, pick a little.
Miss Priebe, you must learn just to take from me.
You were so dear tonight, using the profession working with Professor Hill. Chip, 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 a lot, pick a little, talk a little, pick a little, talk a little, chip, 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 chip. Why, you dance like a fairy princess. With a boutique for your floor, you had a golden shimmer in your hair and silver shoes for all to see. We know that you will soon unfold the forgiving heart of purest gold here, where woman's heart should be. Fairy princess, perfect color, golden shimmer, silver shoes. Now untold, heart of gold, here where woman's heart should be. The professor told us to read those books, and we simply adored them all. Chaucer, Balzac.
Sorry, Professor, but we've got our orders.
We've all been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. Now let's see, I've tried to give you fellows my references and credentials all week, but each time you seem to slip away somehow. Now, I think I have just what you want up in my hotel room. It'll take me just a second.
Just a minute. I'm afraid I'll have to go with you.
Yes. Let me see if I have my key. Oh, what's this? Ah, a testimonial from Madame Rainey, the only female bassoon player ever to reach the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenbush.
Can I see that a minute?
Oh, it's not a name you'll easily forget. Just like the old song, Lida Rose. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here's my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Dream of now, dream of then, dream of a song that might have been true. I love you, oh yes I love you, and so bravely tell you, but only when we dream again. Sweet and low, sweet and low, how sweet and merry, how long ago, forever, oh yes, forever. Will I ever tell you I know?
Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, to get the sun back in my sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, about 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion I'll pop the questions. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine.
Will I ever tell
Lida Rose, oh, won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
Now, will you ever tell him, won't you ever tell him, a yes, a no? Ah, fiddlesticks. Just open your mouth and let it come out.
Now, Mama.
Now, nothing. If he ever comes to call again, you see him alone, and you haven't got the gumption to tell him how you feel.
Tell him?
Well, there's nothing wrong with a ladylike hint. Winthrop, where have you been?
Fishing.
Fishing?
With Harold.
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I still don't have the work left.
Did you have a good time?
Scrumptious. He told me about his hometown, Gary, Indiana. Said he'd take me there someday. He even taught me something that barely even had us in it. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, lucky there once again. Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, Gary, Indiana, that's the town that knew me well. If you like to have fun, go exclamation. How I happen on an elegant thing for making. I will try to have a mouth that hesitating. Oh, it's just one place that's like
dishes. I'll do them, Mama.
Oh, all right. But don't you have to change for the sociables?
Next time later.
Okay.
Do the shins live around here somewhere?
Oh, the Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Criminy! Oh, I see you're the piano teacher here in town. You must know all about this fellow Hill forming a boys band.
Yes.
Well, don't worry about it no more, girly girl. I got the goods on him in spades, that swindling two-bit thimble-rigger. That's why I gotta see Shin. I'm only passing through. Remember, it only makes a 15-minute water break. Whoo! Do wish it were 20, though. Would sure like to concentrate a good 5 minutes on you, girly girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cow, and the salesman. But now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Cowell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? Mistake my old lady's corset cutter. That fellow's been the raspberry seed of my wisdom tooth just long enough. He's spoiling Illinois for me, and he's sure not going to spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You didn't see right through him? He's no more professor.
I know all about that. Band leaders are always called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine director, and his classic...
director? Missy, have you heard one note from any band ever?
Well, no, but...
But nothing, girly girl. That man's never formed a band in his life, and he never will.
If you'll just listen to me for a minute.
Oh, I'd like to. Oh, I'd like to do a whole lot more than that. I do got the inclination. But I gotta get back into the train and leave this dynamite with a man on the way to the next depot.
You'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, ma'am, I have to leave word, and I don't feel like you're the one to leave it with.
Wait just a minute. Mr. Cowell, you don't know me yet.
Was that an invitation if I've ever heard one?
No, I mean, I don't know you, and...
I need more time anyway.
Wait, I mean, as well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girly girl.
I never met a man who sells anvils before. That's something, well, quite different.
Yeah. Takes quite the salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils do have a very limited appeal, don't you know? Back to my train or I'll get fired and I have to leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me!
No, not on your tin type. How'd I know you deliver these letters?
Try me! There's your train now, run for it!
Double dealing little. Who do you think you're protecting? That man's got it grown every county in Illinois, and he's taking it away from every single one of them. And by the way, that's 102 counties, not including the piano teachers he cozies up to, just to keep their mouths shut. Neither one of you is the last to me, girly girl!
Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Light a rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marion. Light a rose now, everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Light a rose, oh, won't you be my light a rose, oh, light a rose.
Marion, dear, who was you talking to just now? Why, Professor Hill!
Mrs. Peru, top of the evening, Miss Marion.
Oh, why don't you two come up and sit? I've got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
I'll put some on.
Shall we set, as your mother said?
Well,
You did ask me to call.
Did I? I didn't mean anything.
Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting that your invitation inferred anything more than academic enlightenment. The Think System? I've been by your place a time or two this week to try to explain it to you, but each time there seemed to be people around, mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
Good. I wouldn't want anyone beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, this is obviously not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it really true that you've had 100, what I'm trying to say is...
Yes?
Is it really true that you've developed a Think System?
A what? Oh, a Think System. Yes, of course. It's very simple, really. As simple as whistling. No one has to show you how to whistle to have a tune come out clearly. You just have to think about it to have it come out here. Just try this before you ask any questions.
I take your word.
Could we sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers?
I dare say you meet dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
oh, some more, some less. One young lady had thought of the same system as I before I even reached her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
Have I said something wrong?
Please don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to explain the think system to me.
Not one that I can think of.
And I must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Now say, what would make you think a thing like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Well, Miss Marion, you can't believe everything you hear. After all, one hears rumors about librarians, too.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so Mother and Winthrop and I would have some security. Surely you don't
Oh,
believe...
of course not, but that's just what I'm saying. Why do you think people start those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness, jealousy mostly.
Exactly. And jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen, too. But what have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally, just generally.
Well, what have you heard generally?
Just that, well, but of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy could lead to, well, I mean, take you for instance, your attentions to music teachers and customers might easily be misinterpreted, mightn't they? I mean, now honestly, mightn't they?
What could?
And so you say if another salesman or somebody were jealous, well, they could be downright lies now, couldn't they?
Well, I suppose.
And that just proves that you should never believe everything you hear. I mean, if you discuss
Miss
things...
Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit. Your knees bend and all.
We could sit on the porch steps.
Or we could sit on the whole log over at the footbridge.
I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in all my life.
Just to talk.
I have to change for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't, please. Some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian. Pile up enough tomorrows and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Mama!
What, dear?
I just told Professor Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised. It works.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
Uniforms are around. The kids are already in them. People are going to be screaming for music when those kids show up at the sociable.
Yeah.
Here's most of the dough. I had Tommy collect. He's over there trying to keep all the kids together at least. Trying to hold a practice over at the lumberyard.
All right, Mars. Get the rig.
I got it.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
Well, it's not even 8:30 yet.
Look here. You want to turtle whirl your way around and get caught in a bunny trap? You go
I'll
ahead.
be at the hotel in plenty of time, Mars. Miss Marion, you're late.
You said 15 minutes.
Oh, I meant that you were I'd say about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get to the footbridge with the fellow.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Half a year, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think when not under the spell of your salesmanship.
No, Miss Marion, surely you don't think I've been selling you any...
Of course not. You've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving you any...
Yes, you have. Something beautiful. That's why I came, and I'm glad. Please don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know that there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. But that's no reason for me not to be grateful for what you will have left behind for me.
Marion, I think that...
There were bells on the hill, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you. There were birds
Didn't I?
Well, she's so far off balance now that you can't tell her from a catboat in a hurricane.
Listen here, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish, and I'm not resigning without my commission.
You can't get anywhere from right here off the boat bridge.
There's a place over at Madison Picnic Park makes this footbridge look like the old ladies' home. Now beat it, Marks. Go get the rig. Never a quiet moment in the music business. Where were we?
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
Yes, well, we don't have to get into that right now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when you first got here.
Oh? About what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory, gold medal class of '05. Harold, there wasn't any Gary Conservatory in '05.
Why, certainly there was.
Because the town wasn't even built till '06. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all this time?
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came. I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to be used against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew all this time, why didn't... Why, you little... While 110 cornets played the air, then I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I got up and down the square.
Good night, my son, good night, my love.
While 110 cornets played away,
our star is shining its brightest light.
there were horns of every shape. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be.
While 110 cornets played the air,
I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone, good night.
There he is. Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going all over town, spilling everything.
Oh, damn crazy. Missed my train, probably even lost my job. But I got you now, Hill. You're gonna pay. You'd be in the clink right now had it been for that piano teacher. Oh yeah, I told her all about you. And what'd she do? Lily gags me around till I couldn't get to mayorship. Little dried up man hungry doxy. Round your face kick.
You get out of here before I kill you, you dirty
You
mouth.
bully! Why, you big blow off. I'll stay in town till you get yours. Up, down, through, and sideways. Why? You never even knew the territory.
Fred, here's your stuff. Come on, the ring's in the alley. Hurry up.
Two Grecian eggs and a fountain.
Stop! Stop! Listen to this man!
You gullible green grass goat. Can't you tell you're being robbed right out of your teeth at this very instant? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you've been fiddling around in the parlor. That's right. I'm talking about Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your pocket since the minute you came into town. And yours, madam. And yours, little lady. And there's more documented evidence than any of you will ever have time to read. There hasn't been any van. There won't be any van. And if we don't hunt this man down like a mad dog this very minute, there won't be any Harold Hill. He'll be in the next train out of town, ready to do this to whatever town he decides next.
Now will you believe me?
Well, what are we waiting for?
We want our money back.
Money back? I want his hide!
After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. Try it everywhere. Try the low road, the creek, the mill.
Don't you know that? You don't owe me a word. Not a word. Now go, Harold. Please go.
Greg! He's not over here! Let's shot down by the creek!
Winthrop!
Whoa there, son.
I'm not yet done. Let me go.
Just a minute, I want to talk to you.
I won't listen. You won't tell the truth anyway.
Yes, I would.
Would not.
Would too. Tell you anything you want to know.
Can you lead a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty, rotten crook?
Yes.
Now let me go, you big liar!
Hold there. You wanted to know, didn't you? Now wait, just a minute. Now I'm bigger than you, so you're going to have to stand here and just quit wiggling. Now there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the very first. That's why I wanted you in the band. So you quit moping around and feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
Oh, I always think there's a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
Well, now that I think about it, that other thing really isn't any of your business.
I wish you never come to River City.
No, you don't, Winthrop.
Sister, you believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us, and it all came true. Like he said, the lights and the flags and the colors and the symbols.
Where was all that?
In a way, every kid in this town walked around here all summer and acted, especially you. And the parents, too. Does Mama wish he'd never come to River City?
But you do, don't you?
No, I don't. Now go, Harold, please.
Go on, Professor.
I can't, Winthrop.
Why not?
Because for the first time, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love all around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all, till there was you. Right, over here. That way.
Go on, Professor. That way. That way.
telegram at this point. Rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by this time. Yes, and always remember, fellow river citizens, I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from, happening. Fourscore.
What have you done to get our money back?
That professor collected nearly $300 in uniforms, just tonight.
We haven't even seen them uniforms yet.
He's slippery. I told you
I
that.
haven't seen any uniform or my boy since just after supper.
He's a kidnapper.
Fine situation here.
Excuse me. Fourscore and 7. What? Just a minute, everyone. Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. And if there are those, as I have heard, who are melting tar and collecting feathers, I will not say them nay.
Well, I should think that there ought to be some of you who could forget our everlasting Iowa stubborn chip on the shoulder arrogance long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Do you? Surely, some of you ought to be grateful to him for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You're wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a man in this room who doesn't think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, I say let him stand. You lately sit down. And the rest of you standing there like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Do you remember how you paid for expensive uniforms, technical instruction books, and overpriced band instruments? Do you remember the clear warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where is the band?
Forward march!
Think, men. Think. to make real quick. So if we could have Miss Priebe and Mr. Enns come to the stage, and also our two accompanists please come up on the stage, that'd be wonderful.